Monday, May 15th, 2023. Board of Equalization to order. First item is roll call. Mr. Brett Town.
Present.
Miss Eleanor Thompson.
Present.
And I'm Patrick Crawley. Notice of the meeting was properly posted. First item is approval of the minutes, discussion and possible action regarding approval of the minutes of April 26, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move acceptance of the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have 5 property before the board. I think it's all by phone, so
That is
we'll
correct.
get hold of the taxpayer representative first.
All right, this is Mr. Sheldon Ellis.
All right.
Hello?
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is Patrick Crawley. I'm chairman of the Board of Equalization in Oklahoma County, and we have 5 of your properties on the agenda this morning. Are you ready to talk about those?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, the first item of business, as far as I'm concerned, is the formal appeal form. Do you have that in front of you, that OTC 976?
The notice of appointment, is that what you're saying?
No, sir. It's the formal appeal form. It's where at least you were supposed to fill in all this information. It's the first form in the packet, most likely.
That's just the
I got your
appointment.
signature at the bottom of it.
Yeah, so the actual formal appeal that was filed,
Yes, that is correct, yeah.
okay, no, I do not have that in front of me.
Well, that's unfortunate, because that's one of the first things that we need to establish here.
Okay, hang on, give me 1 second. Let me go back to my office real quick. Thanks, Sarah. Formal appeals for those 5, where are they? The 5 for Oklahoma County. Formal hearings. Well, that's what. Oh, where are the appeals? Okay. OTC, yeah, 976. That's one of the first things. I'm on the phone with them right now. Okay, I have them pulled up now.
Okay? All right. On Form 976, towards the top, after it says State of Oklahoma Formal Appeal to County Board of Equalization. You see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And underneath that, it says in bold print, taxpayer must answer completely. Please print, which you did. You printed anyway. But you failed at the get-go to check one of the boxes, and it turns out, I mean, we kind of gleaned that this is a commercial piece of property, but there's something I need to inform you about. We have to fill out an affidavit. The 3 of us are all independent, and I'm speaking only for myself at this moment in time. Because I look at this form, and it's a formal appeal form and it is not properly filled out. We have no idea when the informal hearing was held. We don't know what the assessor's value was, because I need to tell you, we're prohibited by statute talking to the assessor prior to the hearing. So we don't have any of that information. At least in my view and in my opinion, and I'm, like I said, just me, there's two other people on the board here that may disagree. But I'm not willing to establish a precedent where people can not fill out a form, not give us any information, and then we have to go into the body of this thing and try and figure out what it might be. What value you're wanting to put on this property and what value the assessor had put on it. Like I said, we have no idea at this point because we haven't had any input from the assessor. We're prohibited from doing that until we begin this hearing, which we're doing now. So the other members of the board might ask the assessor what his value was and whether it changed after the informal and this sort of thing, which is all supposed to be on this form. In my view, this appeal, as in all the rest of them that are before the board today, are not properly filed. And in my view, I'm going to deny all of them. But because I don't want to set a precedent where you can do this, but I will defer to the rest of the board. The vice chairman is Eleanor Thompson, and she might want to say whether she wants to hear your appeal or not.
I would just like to ask you why you did this. Why did you not fill this out?
Generally most of our protests are, most of our clients are held in Texas, and so that's one of the general defaults that we have, and under in a formal hearing in there, all this is basically explained during the hearing, and most of those boxes within our software are left blank, and then the evidence packet to all that is attached to it, because in some cases our evidence is different. Now in these cases it's not, but like some cases where if a district has it coded as like residential or basically a different state code, and that's different from ours, we don't put it on there. As for the informal values, I guess more so I was unaware with Oklahoma state laws and rules on that section.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear on the form. You're supposed to fill it out completely. That's what it says.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ms. Thompson.
I don't have any questions, Ed. I don't have any questions.
Okay. Well, like I said, in my view, none of these properties are properly before the board. The appeal has not been properly filed, so there's nothing for us to, well, actually, the action would be to deny them because it's, at least in my view, because it's not properly filed.
Can the taxpayer withdraw at this point and then refile?
She's out of time.
No, they're out of time.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, I guess I know what he's asking because I went ahead and agonizingly went through every piece of paper that was in the packet and figured out there's a summary part in here where he finally says what he suggests the valuation be, but I don't think you ought to assume what you do in Texas you can do anywhere else. I don't know what their form looks like, but it's pretty easy to follow I mean, how much effort would it take for you to put down at
Well,
least what you wanted?
I mean, well, one of the things is, a form was, just like this, was filed for, like the informal purposes, and I didn't know, I mean, a lot of times, like when the informal hearing was held, on a lot of those dates, you had different, it's just whenever the assessors got back with me on that property, and I didn't know if, I mean, generally a lot of those dates were already provided on that, and I don't know, other than that though, like everything and our opinion and all the evidence of value and everything was attached in the following papers, but I mean, that's, I don't know.
Well, like I said, and Ms. Thompson indicated, I did the same thing. I was able to go through this and divine what you wanted, I think. But I don't find anything that tells me what the assessor has found. So we don't know that until we get to that point after you told us everything you want us to know about your property. Then we'll ask the assessor, and then we're going to have to ask the assessor if we were going to hear this appeal, these appeals, we'd have to ask the assessor, well, what was the value that you had on this property? Do you understand what I'm telling you? This is a formal appeal, or supposed to be, and you've not complied with the statutory requirements.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay. All right.
We don't.
I mean, just at this point, there's nothing I can do about it at this point, but yes, I do understand what you're saying.
All right.
Do you have more in front of this board other than these 5?
No, these 5 were the only formals that have been filed.
I don't disagree with what's been said.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I think it's a precedent, and I don't think it complies with statute if we were to hear these.
I agree. Do I have a motion regarding these appeals?
For failure to comply with the plain meaning of the requirements of OTC Form 976, I move that we make a finding of non-compliance that deprives the board of jurisdiction over this matter.
Essentially a motion to deny,
Yes.
okay? Is there a second?
I would second that. Do we need to make them individually or list all BOE numbers on it?
You should be able to take these all together.
Yeah, I think that, because
All
there's no
right.
difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll amend my motion to include BOE number 89, BOE number 90, BOE number 91, BOE number 92, and BOE number 93.
And I continue to second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, Mr. Ellis, we've denied the appeal in all the property that you have before the board today. Is there anything else that you want to tell us?
Nope, that's it, not this time.
Okay. Well,
In the future.
we're sorry that you're somehow or another thought whatever's going on in Texas might apply here, but the form is rather specific, so in the future, I would ask you, if you're going to appeal property in Oklahoma County, you get that form filled out as it says at the get-go, completely. Okay?
Okay, all right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, now what does that do for what does that do for our Friday meeting?
Well, we
Let-
did a
let me
motion
see if we have-
tonight, so we'll have to meet Friday,
Okay,
and and just essentially say, this is what happened.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if we have minutes, we can still meet for those. Let me check that. In my opinion, I don't think you would be required to come Friday, since you denied them. They would have essentially rendered null. So the meeting would, I think the meeting would just fail for lack of a quorum. But I'll find out the proper procedure on that. Let me see if we have minutes though.
We're not gonna have a quorum Friday?
Well, I'm saying, I mean, if you just don't want to come, then there wouldn't be a
Oh.
meeting, because I don't think there's a need to meet. However, so I mean, there wouldn't be adequate time to cancel it. However,
Yeah, I think.
if you just don't want to come, then
Yeah.
the meeting just
I
doesn't
think,
happen.
I think it's been properly posted,
Mhm.
I believe that we're required to at least show up and say what we've done on the record.
Okay.
I agree, unless we can cancel it, we have to meet.
Okay, actually, and so you will actually need to come Friday, because the first item is the 5-year manufacturer's exemption
Yes, I
report.
saw.
So,
You need to-
so you can still come on Friday, and then if you want to acknowledge that on the record, you're
Okay.
obviously welcome to do that.
Okay?
Sorry about you guys wasting your time. But so your valuations will stand.
I don't know what it is.
I actually went to the website. That's
We
what I
don't
did.
have him on the phone anymore.
You all need to
I'm gonna
adjourn.
stay.
Okay, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.